WW2.
Is your name George? Yes, thank you.
It's lining up around that direction, then you've got one going that direction, then you've got another one. Okay, so tonight we've got a bit of a special class happening, primarily because it's a night of the super red moon, and hopefully we'll be able to find out if the super red moon does enhance our spiritual abilities, because I'm going to push your abilities to the limit. We've got a little bit of a mystery we're trying to uncover. So we're going to use all of you lovely people in the class to help us try to uncover this mystery. Now in the hallway I've got a couple of sensor lights, and I have a proximity pod, and I've invited the person who is attached to the mystery to come forward and hopefully seed your mind with some thoughts, some visions, some words, and this is why you have pen and paper with you right now. I just noticed that the K2 just went off a little bit, and we've had indications that there's special guest with us in spirit to come forward tonight. We've had indications today that he is around, and there definitely are indications that he is around tonight as well. We won't be answering any questions whatsoever until near the end. The first thing that I want you to do is, and the K2's got no reason to be going off like that. I'm going to reset that.
Very close to it.
In fact, I might just put that just a little bit further away from the camera, just in case it's the camera that's setting it off. I doubt it, because it was far enough
No,
away.
it's just looking again.
It's still going off now, so we'd like to thank you for stepping forward. We've been inviting you all day to help us out with this experiment, and the experiment is primarily goes hand in hand with the spiritual and the paranormal. The experiment is to try to see if the group can communicate with you in some form or another, and to see if the super moon can enhance our abilities to communicate with spirit, and to indeed uncover the mystery of this box that is covered in the cloth. Now it's a rather large box. So the first thing I'd like you to do is to all place your hand on top of the box for a couple of minutes. And what I want you to do is just use your intuition, open your mind up, and just quietly, and keep it to yourself, because you'll be writing this on the pieces of paper, so you won't be showing anybody else. The light's just gone off in the hallway, but the cat's just walked past it, so debunking that one. Just allow your intuition and your thoughts to go, and ask for the spirit that is connected to this box to come forward, give you some words, give you some thoughts, give you some visions. Keep those words, thoughts and visions to yourself for the moment. The light in the hallway is just gone off by itself again. So we're asking for the spirit that's connected to the box. Come forward, and the K2 is starting to go off lightly. Alright, so we're going to go around the room first off. And we're just going to ask everybody what they felt. Did they get any words? Did they get any thoughts when you put your hand on the box?
There we go. There you go.
And there's a cat ball. It's just gone off. Perhaps you like the cat balls.
Can you do that again? Easier. Can you move your hand across the cat ball and do it again?
The K2 flick.
Yeah. He's trying.
K2 is trying to flicker. And there's nothing here in this room that should set that off. There's nothing close to those cat balls or the K2. So what did you get, Bree?
So I felt like I was sort of swaying side to side, almost like I was on a boat,
Okay.
which is a bit random. And I also got like a sore neck and under my chin.
There you go.
K2 is flashing up. So perhaps you're hitting on something. Perhaps the spirit is trying to indicate that you're on the money there with what you were saying. Did you get anything else?
No, that was it.
Okay, that's alright, that's good.
Before I even touched the box, I already knew it was a head trauma. I've been getting a headache for quite a while now.
Yeah.
But I've also got like, because I was hearing the sounds of shoes crunching in the dirt.
Yep.
But I also heard the sounds of a screeching car coming to a really fast stop. But I'm also getting like trees. So it could be car hitting a tree, it could be... And there was also screaming sounds and that sort of stuff. Can you draw what you see? Can you
Hang on, we're going to go into the drawing after this.
I was trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to go to the drawing element shortly.
Yeah.
Cool. Is there anything else that you feel about
I'm
the
actually
box, or
feeling really sick in the stomach.
feeling sick in the stomach?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I pulled away really
Yeah,
early. I was
yeah,
like,
no,
that's getting
That's
too
cool.
much.
And that's the best thing to do if you start feeling that nausea feeling and you're not understanding it. You're understanding that it's not your feeling, that it's a feeling of the spirit or a feeling of something else that you're actually sensing. So that's good. Pulling away is good.
I got a really strong sense it was a male.
Yep.
And I felt excitement.
Okay. Yep.
I got he was a strong young male around his 30s or
Okay. Yep.
mystery. I keep getting mystery.
Mystery. Yeah, there's a lot of mystery involved in this box.
Yeah, I was going to say, when I touched the malt box, I got it again. But when you start talking about this spirit, I got mystery again.
There's a lot of mystery
So-
involved around his spirit that we're trying to uncover.
I've got confusion, not sure why he's here.
Yep.
And it's funny, but look, it could be just wrong, but when Hannah was talking about car crash or something, I've got before cars.
So Sally, what'd you get?
Sorry.
That's okay.
So yeah, male. I got the name Bill came through. I've got headache because the headache. I could feel the headache. I got like a battle that was a losing battle. Like there was no way he could win it, whatever he was going into, and he kind of knew it. I saw like overalls or suspenders or some of that sort of like old fashioned. I wrote too shy to be a ladies' man, very respectful. Something about the eyes, like squinting, whether it's like blindness or injury or pain or to do with the headaches, but I focused in on the eyes, like squinting. And then I picked up, I became angry. I wasn't always an angry person, as if something happened that changed his personality near the end part of his life.
Okay.
And then I sort of picked up farm or mining, explosion. So, yeah.
Okay.
Bits and pieces.
I actually was getting farmer and farming and that sort of thing as well.
Okay.
Now that you say that.
Yeah.
I know I wasn't
Look at
supposed to
the
be
ta-
doing anything,
K2's going off again.
but I got like a hill, lots of vegetation, and like a convoy of people, then an explosion, and then bars, like a cage, like a, you know, the old cages they used to keep monkeys and stuff in, the old wooden cages, stuff like that.
Also like
Okay.
a stock cage, like
Not
for
even-
animals.
Okay, so not even a
Not
stock
even a
cage,
stock
you know,
cage.
like the old, like almost made out of bamboo.
Yeah.
The big bamboo tied together with ropes and stuff. And
Okay, and the K2's just lighting up a little bit more. So perhaps he's getting used to using the K2
He's trying.
and trying to push it up.
He's
So
trying.
perhaps he's trying to indicate that he's listening to us and trying to indicate that some of what's being said is pretty right on the money.
He's trying. He's getting the hang of it.
Okay, well, once again I want you to place your hands on the box.
You hold the hammer tight with you. Put it in the hand you put on the box so you've got a barrier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now what I want you to focus on is focus your intuition on where the box has been in its lifetime.
Bree, was it you who said something about a boat earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah, my mind went straight to that sort of rocking.
yeah, that's what I got.
And it felt like this has been a possession over generations, so it's always changed hands, and maybe it was stored for a bit and then it moved again, so it's always been on the move.
Tag light went off, but it was a cat that walked past.
I saw from its lifetime here all the way back to the trees. So I've got it bumping around in the back of a car or a ute, but also it brought over to Australia. But that was quite a long time ago. So it's done its whole rounds of being around Australia for quite a while. And then it's been brought to Victoria and all of that sort of thing. But it was brought over on a boat.
And I also want to ask you to ask the spirit what is written on the box.
Well, I know it's not on the box, but
That's better.
the name Bill Bailey come to mind.
Bill Bailey.
So, and I know it's not on the box.
That's the name of a song too, isn't it?
Yes, once you come home, Bill Bailey. Once you come home.
Okay, and that's related to the song. Is
Yeah.
related to.
I know you've done me wrong. That's the once you
Yeah.
come home, Bill Bailey. I know you've done me wrong.
Thinking about the era of the song.
Isn't it about
What-
soldiers and stuff?
There we go. Now you've got it.
Isn't that song about soldiers and stuff? Being away and coming home and
I keep seeing. I reckon it was a movie. And I keep seeing Al Jolson with his black face.
Oh, okay.
I think he used to sing it. I just
Did he?
got a picture of Al Jolson with a black face singing it,
Okay.
but I'm not sure. But
So Al Jolson was 1940s,
30s, 40s was he?
30s,
Yeah.
40s,
I'm
yeah,
not-
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah, I can't, quite remember it. The sensor's gone off again, but the cat's walked past it.
Okay. So I got John.
Yep.
But I also got Harold, Harry.
Harold, Harry, John. Okay.
I got that didn't hold clothes.
Okay.
I got the writing is faded and worn, like it's not all visible.
All right. Yep.
And that's it.
Very good. Okay. Hannah.
I got the word Welsh.
Oh, no, I did get numbers on it.
No.
Sorry.
Numbers? Oh, yeah, go for it. What numbers did you get?
Well, I don't know. It's funny. I got 1, 2, 3, but then I got 18 something.
Something. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I just got those numbers.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I was getting a whole jumble of different names, so
Yep.
it was like many names.
Okay. What names were you getting?
It was too much of a mishmash for me to really define
Okay.
what it was. Then I got Welsh,
Mhm.
and then I got 6358, and then I also got stamps.
Stamps.
Yeah,
Stamps.
Yeah.
Postage stamps.
postage stamps.
Okay. Postage stamps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or stamps when you're travelling and
Or even like big rubber
Oh, okay. Yep.
goes as well. Like I've got both.
Yep. Like the rubber
Yeah.
stamps, so you're stamping
Yeah.
well, I think they
documents
used
with
to
and whatever.
on travelling boxes and cases. They'd have these big stamps.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Cool. Very good. Brie.
So I got the name Dan or Danny or Daniel. None of them really felt like it was the right one, but that Dan was sort of what I was getting. I also got the letter H in regards to the box.
Yep.
And numbers on it, but in sort of like a rainbow sort of pattern on the box.
Okay. All right. Cool.
As I said before, I got the name Bill, and then I saw sort of like shipped from blah 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 or property of blah blah blah. I couldn't make out which one it is, but shipped from somewhere was the first thing that came to mind. And the headaches keep hanging around. I
Okay.
almost feel like the top half of his head isn't just in pain; it's missing. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, was it an accident? Was it a suicide? Is he feeling ashamed? Is he feeling guilt? And then I get that he forgets what happened to him because it comes and goes in bits and pieces because of the injury. But then I heard birdsong and I found him really easily distracted and comforted by birdsong. Just as something random. And I also picked up he felt like he lived a soldier's life and all the trauma that comes with it, even if he wasn't literally a soldier.
There's a mental health thing.
And
involved.
then I saw a pickaxe for some reason as well, but I didn't get any letters or numbers or anything like that.
Okay. Cool. All right. Now I want you just to close your eyes for a moment, and I'm just going to push our little friend in spirit once more, just very quickly.
He's getting really
I know,
tired.
I know he's getting very tired. We'll just one last little push before we stop for the moment with him. Just going to push him to see your minds or one of your minds with what happened to him. So very quickly, what do we all got? Who was it? Hannah?
I just
So
had a gunshot to the head.
gunshot to the head.
But suicide. So he was very post-traumatic stress,
Okay.
very mental health split sort of thing, and he shot himself.
So you got somebody who had a lot of stress.
It was to the point that they were ready to just do anything to
And-
stop the head
Yep.
from
They
doing
were at that
what
point.
it was doing. So they've just gone, nah, that's it, fuck it.
Okay. So they've either had that thought or actually done
Yeah, one
Yep.
of the two.
it. One of the two. Okay.
And I would say that they've done that
Okay.
to
Yeah.
push me because I know that feeling.
Okay. Jenny.
I actually got explosion, possibly a mine. Like he possibly could have been a soldier.
Okay.
He didn't have direct contact with the mine,
Hmm.
but it was the results of the mine.
Okay.
You know, the ones just stand on.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So.
I didn't get a whole lot, maybe because his energy is starting to,
Yeah, it's starting
out,
to
but-
wane a bit. Yeah,
and he's done really well.
yeah, he has.
But just what I was getting earlier with the head injury and an explosion of some sort, and that's all I can sort of
Okay,
piece together.
Sure.
So I wrote down earlier when we did it the first time about the sore neck and under the chin. I was wondering whether it was a gunshot,
Yeah.
like a suicide under the chin, or if it was being strangled and the pressure of someone's thumb sort of sitting
Okay.
right there was.
It's like a
Yep.
pop.
Yeah,
Like there's a
it was. I was getting either that gunshot being really strangled by someone, or even like a noose.
Yep.
Where he's
there's a
possibly
very
hung
sudden
himself.
like
Yeah, and that pressure to the neck.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
But
Excellent.
it's like he's really confused.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look,
That was the first thing I got was confusion.
yeah, you did.
Yeah.
And why was he here? He doesn't know
Yeah.
why he's here.
He's sort of like, I'm here. I don't know why I'm here, but I'm
Yeah.
here. I'm
He's-
doing
I'm
something.
alright
What
with
am I
helping,
doing?
but yeah.
Yeah.
the whole thing is, that it'll be confusing for him trying to communicate with us because nobody has communicated with him before. And it's been a long time that he's been on the lower astral. He hasn't crossed over.
Okay.
I actually got the confusion was because he's on the other side. He's not living. He's
Oh,
dead.
so he's still like the
no, he
experience
he
is
is.
still
Yes.
adjusting.
He has passed.
Yeah.
Yes, he's
Um,
passed, but it's like why?
And then
Why
actually,
here?
well, it's a good question actually. Has he actually
Acknowledged it.
crossed over, or
That's sort of
is he
confusion
still on
all
the
around.
lower astral?
Yeah.
The other night when I was here and Beth and I
Oh,
talked,
yes.
Yep.
He needs a.
I got the
I was
whole.
gonna say, or a
There's a
candle
kettle on
going
top.
or something.
I got the whole
Just that boost of exchange.
title pole thing and
I'm
executed.
Sorry, it's got a bear on it, but you know.
But tonight I got the
Metal cup is good.
the bit around the neck. There was something
Always do.
holding him up that was like, this was all torn. It was like, you know when they hang someone with a noose and it's
Yeah.
tight here, but it wasn't a noose, it was something else. It was all torn here, so
It was barbed wire.
yeah, something like that.
Okay. Now, I'm just aware of the time, and it's coming up to nearly the time of the eclipse. We want to get out and see it, so we're going to do a big reveal of what the box is. But first off, I just want you to go through what you've written. Just have a quiet look at what you've written, just so you can remember what you've written.
It's not something from Target.
So we
is
can
it?
see.
No,
so we can see
no,
it
it's not a
from-
target box.
It's like one of those
Plastic.
flat pack
Well-
chairs or something.
It,
And your neck
From
yellow, and the
Target.
winner gets to
It
put it
could-
together.
it could have something to do with being a target. Who knows?
If you don't get that tripod in your face.
All right, just remembering what you've written, we're going to reveal a box, and we'll explain a little bit about the box, of what we know anyway. All right, so
You ready?
go for it. It is a World War II footlocker, and it belongs to a R.A.J. Smedley. Now, we don't know what the R.A.J. stands for. We don't know their initials of, obviously, his first, middle and middle names. There are a group of numbers on it. NX164396, which we believe is a dog tag number. And the box itself was commissioned by, we think, or the person had joined the 1st Australian Armed Car Squadron, and it was destined to go to Hiroshima in Japan in 1946 after the war to help with the
The cleanup.
cleanup. I suppose you call it.
Is it after the atomic bomb?
Yeah.
This is after the atomic bomb. So this box was destined to go to Hiroshima in 1946. So the guy, R.A.J. Smedley, from what we know, we've got some scattered information. We've got a couple of different trains of thoughts of information which we don't know what is true and what is not. So we might get Bethany to go through some of the information that she knows about the box.
This box has been in my possession since I was 14, 13-ish. Started high school. It belonged to my dad's cousin, so my aunt's son on my dad's side of the family, my aunt Linda, her son, who is obviously R.A.J. Smedley, but the family knows him, and I've grown up knowing him as Uncle Sonny. My dad tells the story of Uncle Sonny not coming back from the war and being a POW and being decapitated by the Japanese on the Burma Railway.
I had a feeling he was a soldier.
I don't know how accurate that is. As with most people's families, there is a lot of family stories that have half-truths, sort of truths, and a little bit of truth. I don't know how true that is, but I have had, this box has literally been everywhere with me.
So do you know what the RAJ stands for?
No. Their Aunt Linda was my dad's mother's sister. My grandmother, her name was Hilda, and her surname was Lawson. Linda's surname was Lawson. Smedley was a married name. I have little information about my dad's side of the family at all. This box has literally been in our family ever since I can remember. When I was a kid, it used to be stored in our cubby house, so one of those old tin shed cubbies of the 80s, and it was painted black, but as you can see there's actually the army green underneath it, and the writing was covered. It just looked like a big black box. And as a kid, and not realising what I could do then, that I can do now, Sonny, what I knew now is I used to tell people there was a ghost that lived in the trunk. This is when I was, I don't know, 6 or 7. And all the friends I grew up with, and I'm still friends with, would vouch for that. And I would tell them there's a ghost that lives in the trunk, and that ghost is there to protect me.
Okay, 2 meters lighting
Yeah.
up.
Hi, Sonny. When my parents divorced, this fell into the possession of my mum. I don't know how that happened, but there was a lot of to and froing before my parents finally divorced. When my mum did divorce and we moved into a house on our own, it came with us and it sat in the back room of our house. It was a big rumpus room with a tiled floor. One day I was looking at it and I realised, and I was, probably early high school, late primary school, early high school, and I realised there was words on it. So I took something sharp and I actually chipped, and he's agreeing with me, I've actually chipped all the paint off the lettering. And when I realised what the trunk was, I asked my mum, and she said it was an old World War II trunk. And I said, can I have it? Because at the time it wasn't being used for anything. And she said, yeah, why not? Because it would get all my, teenage crap off the floor in my bedroom. And it has followed me everywhere ever since. Every house I've moved into, every place I've gone, when I went to uni, it was in my bedroom. When I moved in with my boyfriend at the time, it came with me. When we moved to Sydney, it was with me. I've had such a strong connection to this trunk throughout my life that when it wasn't here, I would get very, very, very anxious when people mentioned it. Because in my head, it was meant to be with me. It's the only link I have to my dad. I don't own anything else of my grandparents or my aunts. This is it. I don't have photographs. I didn't meet my Nana or my Aunt Linda because Aunt Linda died shortly before I was born, and Nana died not long after, the same year I was born. So I had no connection to them at all. And to top it all off, up until a few years ago, I didn't have contact with my dad. Regular contact with my dad on a regular basis. So a lot of what you were saying, and while you were all talking, I was actually talking to Sonny, trying to help him figure out how to do what we were asking him to do, because this is the first time I've been able to talk to him, because it's the first time I've understood my gift. So I've always seen a soldier, particularly when I was unwell. I used to see the soldier, and I never knew what that meant.
Can I also ask, do you now feel like Sonny's an old friend?
He is an old friend, yeah. Yeah, he's been around me a long time. And when my mum brought this in, when Rick finally got it into the house, I just sat here and put my hand on it, because I finally felt like I was home.
Bethany's always mentioned feeling the soldier around her, but she wasn't really able to connect to the soldier.
No.
Didn't really know who the soldier was, or what the soldier was about. The interesting thing with the whole storyline is there is one storyline where he actually died by decapitation or execution by the Japanese. I don't know if it was execution, we'll call it, because we're not sure if it was decapitation or not. There's two different stories there.
Yeah.
On the Burma Rail, while building the Burma Rail. But the curious thing that really got us going, and this is part of the mystery too, is that this box is marked stating virtually that this R.J. Smedley, he had joined at some point the 1st Australian Armoured Car Squadron, which was destined for Hiroshima, Japan. It's written on the box. Now the thing is, the Armoured Car Squadron itself, I think, was created around about 1941 or earlier, probably even 39, and the sensor light's just gone off up the back there, and there's been no cats walking past.
It's because he's coming for his...
So Sonny, if you want to come in as well, please do so. The thing is that the car squadron, at some point he joined the car squadron and was destined for Hiroshima, Japan. But the whole thing was that this car squadron was destined for Hiroshima, Japan after the war had finished. Now, if he was executed on the Burma Rail during the war as a POW, well, that doesn't really click, does it?
No, he wouldn't.
You know, he can't have been executed during the war years and gone across to Hiroshima, Japan after the war had finished. So that's the massive big mystery that we're trying to solve. Now I just want to do a couple of very, very quick things before we go and have a look at this supermoon thing. Does anybody want to have a go at a set of rods? And we'll ask a couple of quick questions. For the spirit that is connected to this box to come forward, and can you push the rods into a yes position when we mention your correct first name? So we're going to go through a list of our names, and as soon as we get to your name, can you please cross the rods? I'm going to start off with the name Rick. going to call out the name Reginald. Call out the name Rex. A little bit of movement on Jenny's there, and we've got a cross.
Relax. Don't.
You're on that.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a,
Focus on the end of the rod.
so we've got a possible
Shut
Rex.
your eyes.
I'm going to call out some more names. Can you cross the rods if we hit your name? What about a Robert? Is your name Robert? Is your name Roger? Who's got another R name?
Rex, you haven't tried?
You ever tried
No,
Rex?
Rex.
Oh,
Richard.
Richard.
Ryan.
Richard?
Mine are moving.
Richard? What about Orion? Can we try Rex again? Is your name Rex?
Let's try. Tip the
He's
tips up.
going one at a
There
time.
you go.
Yeah.
Now ask. Is your name Rex? There you go.
Okay, we've got a possible Rex. Okay, we've got the necrophonics going. I'd just like to ask, what is your first name? Rex.
Rex.
Just like to thank everybody for coming tonight and having a good go with this. And actually it's quite amazing because some of what you actually wrote down and picked up before we uncovered the box does relate to the storyline of what we have heard about Mr. R.A.J. Smedley and the box. So it's pretty interesting.
Now, our guides are supposed to be telling us what.
Yeah.
Why do we all get something different and sometimes wrong?
Because it's not wrong. You just get, everyone picks up on it. Imagine everyone's got, have you seen My Favourite Martian with the two aerials? that
Yes.
come out? Imagine everyone's got different aerials and they're all on different frequencies. So if you're tuned to one frequency and Hannah's tuned to another frequency and Bree's tuned to something else and Jerry's
No,
aerial,
but I mean like different, the wrong name. Or,
yeah, it's not the wrong name. It all links in together.
You
But
could be
it's
hearing
just-
the name of the person who was the great uncle of this
What was the
person.
name? What was the name you got? John. John. Well, there's
Well,
a
that could
J.
be-
There's a
J.
J.
There's a J.
Oh, and I've got a Harold and Harry.
Yeah. Well, see, I don't know a lot about my dad's side of the family, and I don't know a lot about Aunt Linda's husband.
Yep.
So it could be there's a Harry on that side of the family.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they were best mates in Burma, and now they travel together in Burma, and
Yeah.
now they travel together
Yeah.
in the afterlife.
My grandmother's name, Nana's name was Hilda Harold. So it depends. It's
Yeah.
not wrong. You don't get the wrong thing. Everything is linked. It's just that you get a different piece of the same story.
So that Bill Bailey, which was a war song.
Yeah,
it from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was well
It
watched.
relates
And it
to
was saying,
World-
"Come home, Bill Bailey,
War
come
II.
home."
It's a matter of also your guides know how to give you particular signals.
Yeah.
So like the song would come to your mind, whereas somebody else would be hearing more things at a different time.
Or you might, because some people see and some people hear. So you have a thing where you hear music. So the logical way your guides would give you information is through song. I see. So if my guides give me something really important, chances are I'll see it. Because I'm very art orientated and I used to love theatre. Sometimes I get the line out of a movie, or I get the name of a book because I like literature. I studied English lit at uni, so I might get the name of a book or a line out of a book or the line of a poem. So
Or a song.
or a song.
I've had too many, thank you.
So
I had 2 pieces of cake, I better not.
So it's not necessarily that you're wrong. It's just your guides have to give you information so you understand that that's what they're giving them. If your guides gave you a vision, you wouldn't have a freaking clue what to do with it. But if they go, oh, they gave you the song, we go, oh, well, I understand that now.
Yeah.
So it's like Hannah hears more than she sees. So she will hear stuff. So her ears are more tuned than her eyes are. Her third eye is. You're kind of tuned like you're tuned into musical theatre. So
You're
you
a,
hear.
you're a vibration.
And
more
yet,
of a-
I don't listen to songs
No.
or music or anything.
No.
I listen to talkback radio.
Yeah, but that's because you've got the songs in your head. If you want, and Bree's sitting in the corner, and she tends to get keywords. So she tends to not get a lot, but the words that she gets is important.
Yeah.
So she doesn't. I got the letter H. Yeah. See. So the thing was, she gets keywords. So and the keywords that she gets leads to something else.
And what you've written down there, if you actually look through it,
you'll find that you've got a
you'll
lot of
find that
things
there's
right.
some stuff that symbolically relates to something within the story of this box that we already know.
I didn't say it. I had possible soldier.
There you go.
That's it.
I had explosion mine, possible soldier.
Yeah.
Well, there was a lot of explosions around you.
Build a
And
railway.
someone
Had to build a railway.
someone said they heard screeching tires
Oh, I did,
and
yeah.
screaming and a sudden stop.
It's a car squadron.
He was in the car, the armored
yeah,
car
I heard
squadron.
like cars and
Yeah,
yeah.
and then people screaming and explosions and stuff.
And you said water, the
Yeah.
motion of the water, well, it would
Yep.
have had to have come by boat.
Yeah,
Might
See-
have even been the car if it was.
yeah. But he
And
could have.
rocky and
It
flat.
could have
It
come.
wasn't necessarily a boat. It
it
was
Yeah.
could
just
have
that
been, well, would have
rocky.
been probably both anyway.
Yeah.
But see, I don't know how this got back from wherever it was.
Or
Part
if
of-
it even went.
Yeah,
part
if
of
it
the
even
story.
went.
Part
Well, I
of the
was going to say his
story.
belongings could have come back in it.
Well,
True.
see, the actual
Family, it is.
the actual trunk. Excuse me, Sonny.
Like if he did die
That
in
was me.
Japan or somewhere, maybe they sent his belongings home in the trunk.
Well, see, the actual trunk.
What is the trunk made out of? For
It's
starters?
tin,
It's tin. Okay.
but the actual trunk. And I'll open it for you. It's all lined.
And I don't get clothes in it.
Yeah. Well, it's never it's never held closed.
Yeah.
It's always held but it's got the green lining, the silk lining on the inside, so you can put your hand on the inside and you can feel what's actually. You can actually get a
The
picture
other-
of what was it. Yeah.
The other thing I want to mention too is that this car squadron was originally set up in Puckapunyal in Victoria, but the car squadron actually went to an island in Indonesia before they actually went across to Japan. So the rocking of the boats and everything like that, they would have had to have gone by ship to Japan. And when I did a little bit of research into this particular island, there is only a couple of small towns on the island, but one of them was stated it was an army camp there, and there's an army camp museum.
Yeah.
So we're thinking that it very muchly relates to part of the storyline where this trunk may have gone across to this island in Indonesia before it actually went across,
That would make
To Japan.
absolute sense.
Yeah.
With
and that's
the
where you
way
get in
that
the rocking of the waves and the
Yeah.
water and the boat.
The irony of it all is that on my mum's side of the family, we do have a relative that was in the RAF who was shot down over the English Channel a couple of weeks before the war ended. And he didn't come home, and my grandmother used to wear his army issued watch that went to the bottom of the ocean with him and came back, and it was working when they found his body. So we have that side of things as well. So we've got all of the. Oh, he was a navigator of a Lancaster bomber. So we have that, and we have all the information for that, and then we have not a whole lot for Sonny.
I've looked through some war records,
There he
and
is.
from what I could find, pop it back up there.
Yeah, sorry, son.
From what I could find, there are quite a few Ars Medleys, and there was one that was stated as being executed by the Japanese, and it did have this dog tag number, but it also had a second dog tag number. Now, the thing is that we know in the war years that sometimes dog tags were swapped or passed on to somebody else for one reason or another. So perhaps the second dog tag may have belonged to a friend of his that actually died, and he took
Which could be
Mr.
the
Smedley
Daniel or
took
the Harold. Yeah,
the
exactly.
dog tag, or they swapped the dog tags to swap identities, or for some reason because they were running and hiding from the Japanese.
I just feel the original story isn't the story.
No,
There's something missing, majorly.
yeah.
Whether it's just being
But I don't
embellished
think
or
I don't think he remembers exactly what happened either.
I don't think he wants to remember.
Yeah. I think that's it.
But I think it's like Chinese whispers that
Yeah.
every time it's being told, it's being changed that little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that what actually happened isn't what we were told.
I have to turn my phone on just so you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all right. Yeah, yeah.
That was just
yeah.
for the K2. But I think what was told was a degree of the truth.
Yeah.
And I don't think he remembers what the actual truth is because he hasn't crossed over. He hasn't found the light. This has been his world.